And welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. The messages of inspiration and hope is proudly brought to you today by the good guys at the 6minutewebinar.com. And Donna and I are so excited about this show today. We got a great friend of ours. As you can see, our guest today is Mr. Aaron Heimes. He is the El Presidente of E360 TV. Donna, he's a great friend of ours, isn't he?
Oh, he is such a wonderful man. And, you know, he's just so down to earth. And one of the things I love about Aaron is how much he shares. He shares information, he shares help, and he's just not afraid to be there for each and every one of us who host a show.
You're absolutely right. And I remember when we first got invited here to be introduced to Aaron, I should say, in E360 TV. Tamra Hunter was the lady that did it. And so about a month went by and I hadn't heard anything. And I thought, okay, they probably took one look at that and said, we don't need that guy. But the very first phone call that we had, everything clicked between us. Everything clicked on it, really did.
Yep.
And Aaron is such a, yeah, you're exactly right. And he is so busy and he's always working on multitask. In fact, he brought himself and his garden with him today. I'm not making that up. In fact, here's Aaron's garden. We'll bring that up there. And here is Mr. Aaron.
Yeah, there it is. Go back to the garden. The garden's much better looking than me. So,
yeah, I tell you, that's really.
Hi, guys.
How are you doing, man? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Aaron.
Hey, how are you? It's good to see you. No, excited to be on your program today, guys.
Yes. Here he is, the El Presidente, as I say, the president of E360 TV. I was able to get him on my radio show first, but then I really had to work real hard to get him on the TV show. And what I had to do, I had to call him up and say, hey, Aaron, what are you doing tomorrow? I said, would you like to be a guest on the show? Sure, Jim, I'd love to. That's about the way it went.
That's exactly, yeah. Just look at the calendar real quick. Say, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it. Why not?
Right. But I'm making Jim be on his best behavior, Aaron.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Let him go nuts.
Oh, yeah. We provide INFO-Tainment. And this show today, we're going to talk about how E360 TV is a live streaming network. It broadcasts on their branded channels of Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and Android TV. And we're also got outlets out there in Periscope, Twitch, YouTube, and we're on multiple Facebook pages live right now. Donna, I'm scared. Somebody might see us.
We have lots of fun.
As you should. As you should. That's part of the part of the point.
Aaron, tell us a little bit about E360 TV, how that got started, and the name like E360 TV. When I think about 360, I think about 360 degrees and it being, complete circle and like the globe or whatever. So please share that with us if you would, sir.
Well, our tag is entertain, evolve, and engage. We're all about, we never wanted people to be able to put their exact thumb on E360 TV and say, oh, this is a skateboarding network. It's, this. What it really was is we wanted to talk to the audiences that are out there that have, are a little bit out of the mainstream in a way, but at the same time, it turns out it really is mainstream because it's the real people is what the bottom line. No Kardashians. So, so we've been around 4 years now, but we've been doing live for the last year. But we've always been about giving a bigger stage to content creators and storytellers, and doing it in a way that wasn't cost prohibitive, or it didn't have to be some tech guru to figure it all out. But be able to get that distribution across all those different things to better position them to, one, be where audiences are living nowadays, and streaming, on the connected TVs, the mobile devices, and then also social media, but then also be able to monetize their content, to be able to actually make a little revenue off of doing what they love in support of it.
Oh, you're absolutely correct. And did I tell you the third week we started this broadcast with E360 TV on Monday, November the 30th of 2020. And on the third week that we had been on the air or been on the network, I got contacted by a guy from Pakistan. And he wanted me to work with him on another project. And I said, well, I appreciate the opportunity and thinking of me, but I said, I'm doing 5 live shows a week on E360 TV. I'm doing my live radio show, and each one of that's 6 live shows a week, Monday through Friday, and each one takes about 3 hours total time from the alpha to the omega to put together and do it right.
Yeah.
And I said, by the way, how'd you find me? He said, well, I work late. I come in around 12 or 1, and he says, I just sit down one night, and he says, I found you on TV. Oh, wow. That's really, that was pretty neat. Yeah.
We've had, because, pre-live, doing live content, of course, we've been just growing over time. And, we've had a lot of just the other creators and stuff like that have been around for, some from the very first day, when we started. And I remember it being like maybe a year and a half in or something like that. And there started to be like these weird things that would happen. Like one of the guys would send me a picture. He said, hey, man, I'm down in San Diego. I'm at this Chinese restaurant. You're not going to believe what they're playing on their TV right here. It's E360 TV. And then I think I was out somewhere doing something. So this is pre-COVID. And I was chatting with someone about, hey, what do you do? And I said, oh, I run this, little network called E360 TV. And someone turns to me and goes, oh, I know you guys. And I'm like, you do? I'm like, awesome.
Yeah.
It takes a while to, it does. It's not it's either money or time. That's the two things, right? And so if you don't have a gigantic bag of money, then you got to give it time, and just and that's the kind of the, that's the just the bottom line of how things work. But it's been such a killer adventure because, I always said that it's not about money, it's not about business, it's all about the experiences and the people that you meet along the way of business and such. And that's what makes it worth it, because of course on your last days, on your deathbed, or right before you get hit by a bus or whatever it may be, that how you go, what you're going to remember is the people and the experiences. So
that's exactly right.
Why wouldn't you just focus on the things that are truly going to be in your last breaths that you're going to remember? So
oh yeah, absolutely. I like that. Go ahead, Donna.
Well, it's a way to, E360 TV not only enhances everybody else live that you touch, Aaron, but it enhances our own and our own as hosts, but also as a family with E360 TV.
Well, I appreciate everything about E360 TV, but the truth of the matter is E360 TV is a hollow shell without the creators and the people that are within it. That's all it is. It's just this nothing. It's a bus station. Well, we are. So, I mean, I do appreciate that and everything. But I say at the same time, really, without guests or without hosts and without the creators and such, we're nothing. So this is what it is, So exactly, it's a back and forth,
That's like when we first started the Message of Inspiration and Hope. We started on Zoom and Facebook Live when the pandemic hit. And we just basically created the webinar series just for give speakers a platform, a virtual platform to come forward and share their message, because we all needed a positive message when the pandemic first hit, because a lot of people, we didn't know what was going on. And we went through about 300 speakers. And then that's when Tamra says, hey, Jim, I need to introduce you to Aaron and them, those good folks over at E360 TV. You need to take your show to a much bigger platform. And I said, well, I'm already on Zoom and Facebook Live. I was kidding with her, and she was serious. She says, no, I'm going to introduce you there. I said, okay. I guess it was about 3 or 4 weeks before we actually talked. But man, the thing that really got me about you was that you're so down to earth.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just straightforward. You're honest. And I mean, it's just like a breath of fresh air. You didn't try to sweet talk me. You didn't try to put me together with cheap glue or any of that nonsense. You said, this is who we are, what we do, and this is how we do it. And we'd love to have you.
I have a crappy memory. Really bad memory, it seems. So I just took up the policy not to lie quite a few years ago, because then you don't have to remember anything.
That's right.
It's not the truth.
That's right. Yeah.
Just good. They ask you a question, blah. There it is. The exact same thing as you said last time. You're not thinking about it.
And you sleep, and you sleep better at night, Aaron.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sleep better. Yeah.
And the way Donna and I don't know if you heard this story or not, the way Donna and I became hosts together, it started back in July of last year. I called her and I told her, I says, guess who I'm having on the radio show? She says, who's that? And I says, Marty Haggard. And she says, oh my goodness. She's a huge fan of Merle. And so I decided, well, it'd be, good energy to have her there, since she's such a huge fan. And it was great. We just went off the air. The show was over. We're off the air. 2 seconds later, Donna says, Marty, would you like to be on my radio show? Sure, Donna, I'd be glad to, And we visited him for about,
that way.
Yeah, she's very shy. Yeah. And we visited him for about 15 or 20 minutes. And then when, because I invited her to be a co-host on my show, she did the, favor in return. And it was during that show there, I says, we got some good chemistry. And so that's how all that came about. We knew we were going to do something. What's really wild, Donna, is that we did not know the process.
No, we didn't.
When I tell people we actually backed in and fell into this TV thing, I'm not making that up, because you just heard the story of how we got invited, and it's just amazing. It really is.
And it was funny because we had talked about, we're going to be working together, and we talked very frequently, and we said, but we're just not sure how it's going to work out yet. And then, boom, there it was.
Yeah. Yeah, because and
that's how I came in media. By the way, I literally people say, "How'd you get media?" Like, I don't know, man. Just what I mean. Just all of a sudden, you're like, "Well, this is cool. Well, this is cool." And the next thing you know, people are like, "Oh, you're a media person." You're like, "Oh, I guess I am." You don't know how I got there, but hey, that's good.
That's when you
follow the clues.
Yeah, that's when you're following the energy there. And I've got the Mr. Bill Heinrich's book up there, the ebook. If you want a free copy of it on clarity, because clarity is the starting point of all achievement. You got to know what it is that you're going to do. And you can just go to myfreebook.me, myfreebook.me. It'll come to you in your inbox and your email. And Bill will not chase after you. He will not send you emails. He's too busy. Like he said the other day, he's got more now than he say grace over.
It is just Bill's gift to the world.
Yeah, it really is.
Well, I enjoyed conversations with Bill and everything. I did the 6-minute webinar. Yeah. And not a paid sponsor. Actually, I paid. I did at the end I did the whole upgrade. I was like, man, this is awesome. I want to do this. Yeah. And I've been using that sucker like crazy. But he just what I kind of enjoyed it is Bill and Don were the ones giving the presentations that day, and both of them, especially Bill's, you just can tell that he's not there to sell you. Like,
no,
the guy's rolling around in his RV, just taking it easy. he's like beyond where he's like a sales pitcher. You know,
Oh yeah.
this is the way it is, and do it. You know,
Yep.
and then what I liked about doing that presentation is there was a couple times when he interrupted me, and he was like, "Well, what is your, you know, what's the problem or whatever it may be, you know, it's going through the steps," and I'd say something, and he'd go, "That's not right."
Oh yeah, that is built to a T.
Because shoots, man, you talk about the confusion that you have when you're so entrenched in your business that you don't even, sometimes you don't even know why people are buying your stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know why they like it, you know. But it's like a carve out some time to just go and just figure it out.
You know, that's true, because sometimes when you ask someone, what is it that you do? Well, you know, and they start giving you this big, you know, the big picture on everything they do. And, you know, and they use that same approach when they're trying to talk to a client. They don't know how to talk to a client in a very concise, clear path on, you know, this is what your needs are. This is how I can help you.
Right.
And I use the example of Stephanie Dwayne. I call her the ka-ching lady, because she was the one that told us that she considered this 6-minute talk that we actually did out in Phoenix. That's where it got its roots from. She says, I call that my personal ATM machine. She says, I used to get up there. She's a clinical hypnotist. Get up there and talk about, I can help you lose weight. I can help you deal with anxiety. I can help you quit smoking, da, 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 da. You know, the shotgun effect, trying to hit the bullseye.
Right.
And she says, now when I'm talking to someone, she says, in 6 minutes, I will show you 3 ways that you can quit smoking. Boom. Right there. She's got all the people who want to quit smoking, and everybody else is out of there.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's so sweet about it.
The clarity of the 6-minute webinar is beautiful, in that as entrepreneurs, we get so excited and we're so vested in our own business that we get in our own way and we don't know when to shut up. And the 6-minute webinar really hones in what it is, who your target audience is, and helps you to get rid of the fluff that's not working, and get rid of the 80% of the people that you can't help, and bring in the 20% that's your target audience.
So Bill Heinrich, I know you're going to be seeing this show a little bit later. We're going to send you a bill for this very long advertisement there on a 6-minute webinar.
Yep.
But let's get back to talking a little bit about E360 TV and how people can, you know, the hosts that come there, and especially people that need to have the entrepreneurs, they need a good, solid platform to be able to get their message out to the masses. And this E360 TV is that platform, because you broadcast to millions of devices around the world.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yep. And that's no borders, you know, no borders and such. You know, and as long as, you know, everyone keeps it clean, there's no censorship. You know, we don't want to be passing around rumors, of course, and stuff like that. But, you know, that's part of the foundational pieces, is that everyone's got to know the story behind the business or the brand. And when you're doing, let's say, a weekly show, let's say it's just one show, not like you crazy folks doing 5 days a week, which is, I know, is a lot of work. But I think it's an opportunity for the audience to learn about the people, but, you know, the hosts and such, and the business and the brands and those kind of things. But it's also for the hosts, you know, learning about themselves and about their audience, and really getting involved and engaged that audience. You know, there's I'll give you an example. So Schaefer Suggs, his daughter Faith, and a couple times his son Devin. You know, they were about the 4th show that came on the E360 TV Live, and they've been doing it for a year. He doesn't seek sponsors or anything like that. He says, you know, we are really our big thing is that it's time with his daughter, or 3 times a week, twice a week at least. And then at the same time, it's for their family and such. I mean, now they've gotten thousands and thousands of views, but that wasn't the reason that they were doing it. They were doing it because of their family unit, and they had some trauma, and they had some different things go up in life, and they knew that people would be able to relate to what they talk about. So everyone's got to come with a different, got to be a good foundational reason of why they're doing a show.
Yeah.
It's got to have, because if it's money, I'm going to make a bunch of money off this. Well, again, that's not, that's what comes with it. That's not that can't be the focus.
Not at all, because I've had people on all the radio shows I've done over the years, and then thousands of people I've interviewed as being a host and all. The people who are what I call, they're just pitchers. They're just trying to pitch their product and all that. One guy contacted me. He says, "Hey, I got a new book coming out, and I want to be back on your radio show." And I says, "Well, we're kind of booked up to Juvember." He didn't pick up on that Juvember. He said, "When?" I says, "I don't know. It's a long waiting list." And, because I'm not going to put somebody on there, because people, when they tune in, they expect to have the same type of program, the same type of what I call infotainment, and be able to mix in a little humor with providing some good positive information that's for the folks out there. And, they're not there to watch a sales pitch. And one guy wanted to be on our TV show. We had him on, but we had to go through a dress rehearsal. He wanted to, sell his products and all. And I just simply said, "Listen, when's the last time you went home and picked up your remote and you started surfing your channels looking for a sales webinar?" And that's the way I had to get on to second grade English with him, but then he got it. But we had a great show. But I tell you, I still pinch myself, because I feel so fortunate to be here, not only for the opportunity to have a platform to get me out on all these, different stations or channels, I should say, like on being on Roku and Amazon Fire and all that. But what I really like about what I see here, everybody that comes to E360 TV, it seems like it's an automatic filtering process. Donna, I know you can you add to this, because we all seem to be like-minded and like-hearted. I mean, it's just, go ahead, please.
Well, it's absolutely true. And the beautiful thing is, all the hosts that I've interacted with, there isn't one of them, not one, that said anything in a mean spirit. It's all about, everybody is there to support each other. People come on and say, "Oh my gosh, I'm brand new. This is my new show, and it's on a Tuesday." And everybody's like, "Man, you're going to kill it. Great show. It's going to be awesome." And it's all about that energy and having that love and light for each other. And it's not about, it's not about, well, are you making any money off of it? I mean, none of us do that. None of us.
No. And one of the most common responses you see is that, "Welcome to the family." Because that's what we are. That's what got created. And I'm sure Aaron will agree with me. It was created just by the like people, the like-minded, like-hearted, and all that. And that energy just attracted like-minded, like-hearted people. And it wasn't.
There's a saying in birds of a feather. Flock together.
Right.
And there's a reason it's a cliche. Because your energy is going to be drawn to like energy. And it's going to repel against others. And if you do, the other thing is too, is that, Aggie Coburn, there's two founders, to the network, me and Aggie. And we had a conversation right from the beginning. And just like, you know what, we've been around the block long enough, we're old enough, that we're not going to put up with any BS. We're not going to put up with, some jerks or, the opposite for women, whatever that's called. But we're not going to put up with that because it's just life's too short. You know what I mean? We're going to bring in the right people, that stuff. And and the other thing is too is I'm not going to chase anyone to be on the network. I'm not going to sit there. Oh, would you come on? Please. Oh, you're going to be on here. You know what I mean? It's like you got to. It all clicks. It's got to click, and if it clicks, then we do it.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It's got to be a good fit for everybody, because if not, then, I don't care if you do 25 broadcasts a week, you're not going to be successful. There's just no way. There's just no way. No way. And, Donna, I've been looking at Aaron's garden there, and I thought I saw a cat. I thought I saw a cat in a tree out there, and they said, no, is that one of them optical illusions? What is that? It looks like a cat in a tree out there.
Yeah, there probably is a cat. There's 2 cats outside right now.
Oh, okay.
Got the 2 grays. One's super old and one is super young, so they're the opposite ends of the spectrum. But they like to roam around and just go right around the circle. But yeah, it's this is one part of the house. Of course, you got the back, and we're surrounded by plants, and my wife and I, that's what we do. We get done with work. That's exactly where we go. I mean, we go to the back, front. We just start messing around with these things. And it's amazing. You can have so many plants, but if you're a plant freak, you can always find room for another plant.
One more, just one more.
And this has nothing to do with anything with the 360, but I have this. I call myself the optimist botanist because I'm the guy that waters the stick, and my wife's like, "That thing is so dead. Why don't you just pull it out?" I don't know. I think it's a glimmer of hope, and
it might come back.
I think it's got a chance, and it's like branch is coming up. And I was walking the dog one day, and I was going around, and I came across this guy's lawn, and he had this stick, and I saw the watering going on it, and I was like, now from an outsider's perspective right now, I'm looking at that going, that's dead, man. But then I guess I'm guilty of the same thing. So I came home immediately and started ripping out a couple plants because I was like, oh, gotta get a hold of yourself, man. These things are but see, once you rip out those, then you're like, well, what can I put here now? Okay.
I tell you, it's here in Texas. I live on 8.5 acres, and I've got a lot of trees and stuff. And all I got to do to get firewood is just go to my backyard and just do a little pruning, trim up trees and cutting up trees that, get old and fall down and die, that sort of thing. Yeah. And I've learned when a tree is laying down on its side, they don't ever stand back up again,
Right.
That's a good sign you start cutting on them for firewood,
Yeah. What an easy reference too.
Oh yeah.
You don't have to monitor it. Just wait until it falls, and then you're like, okay, I guess the universe is saying that one's dead.
Oh yeah. Because
bonfire time.
Yeah. Every now and then we'll get
big bonfires out in Texas because you like everything real big,
Oh yeah.
Gallon hats, you got the big belt buckles, you got the big bonfires.
Yeah. Yeah, that one over at Texas A&M they used to put on over there, that thing was humongous.
Yeah.
Humongous. It was real huge. And Donna, I tell you, out there in Arizona where you and Aaron live, green plants, they are at if you got them, I mean, your house just stands out. I mean, it's such, because a lot of people have the desert landscaping.
Yes.
And that's attractive too. But having green plants, that's just extra special. When I saw the name there when he first came on the show there, we were in the back studio. And I says, I made a comment to Donna, Aaron's garden. I said, that's right down the road from Adam's garden.
I said they're cousins.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you know, brother Moses, Aaron. Yeah,
Mhm.
you can make that
Mhm.
argument. But yeah, I don't know. I felt like I felt with the name of your program, I figured it made sense.
Oh yeah, I'm
You
looking
know,
at that.
that's that CBS Sunday morning at the very end. You know, they always leave you with nature. You know,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I figured bring a little of that into the open.
Yeah. So we started you folks out with nature today.
Yep, there you go.
I've been looking
Right.
at that Superman. Is that a bank or a figure behind you there at Superman outfit or?
Yeah, this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, cookie jar.
Cookie jar. Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah. I'll be
Exactly.
Nice.
doggone. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had that thing for quite a while now.
Hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, the growth of E360 TV and the opportunity it provides for folks, goodness gracious, because getting your voice out there to the masses as you work at it and you advertise it and promote it and get it posted different places and that sort of thing, get others to help you promote it. It really gives you an opportunity to get your message out there. And the coming from the heart and being able to share your message. And like this show here, we're all about every single person we've had on here. They have been great in supplying some type of information for the people out there because there's a lot of people sitting there at home. And I still know of, I don't know them personally, but I know of a couple of people that are still living in solitary confinement. They're still scared about this, pandemic. And when you live in fear, that is the worst place to be because how does hope enter there? You know what I mean, Donna?
Absolutely. And unfortunately, when we live in fear and a constant state of fear, it
Mhm.
actually lowers our immune system.
Mm.
And at this point in time, we really need it to be raised up. So
Mhm.
if you have some hope and you have faith,
Mhm.
and go out in your backyard, if you're worried about going to the store, that's okay, absolutely,
Mhm.
but go out and get a little air and bring some of that happiness and that
Yeah.
joy into your life, like Aaron's garden.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I'd just like to say a couple of things here, if I may. If you're sitting there and you see this show, if you're watching it live or if you watch it on replay on YouTube, wherever, all you got to do, if you say, wow, I'd like to have a shot at being on a TV show, I'd like to be able to, get my
Mm.
information out there. There's only two things you need to do. You see Aaron's email address there, Aaron at e360tv.com. Send him an email and just this is who I am, this is what I do, and I'd like to have an opportunity if you would introduce me to one of your hosts because he knows all of us.
Mhm.
And if you'd
Yep.
like to be on this show here, let's see, I got it down here somewhere. There we go. Just email us at inspiration at e360tv.com. We'll get that email. We'll be glad to interview you, talk to you, and help you get from where you are to where you want to be. See, that is part of what makes E360 TV so special, especially all the hosts. We're all willing to help one another. And that is, I mean, I wish I'd have found, people like that 5 or 6 years ago. I wouldn't have been banging my head against the wall so much. You know what I
That's the
mean? Yeah.
Got to go through the experiences, right? I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I'll take this quick opportunity to do a quick little plug if I can, because not
Sure.
only individual shows but events is
Mhm.
we've been doing a lot more events. In fact, today we just came off. We had out of Des Moines, Iowa. We're
Mhm.
out of all places. I shouldn't say it like that. Iowa's a great place. But we had it's called CI Live, and on there today was they had now see, I'm gonna forget all the names or whatever, but the guy went down to the Titanic, not James Cameron, but the
Mhm.
actual scientist went down all the way down to Titanic. He did a talk.
Mhm.
A violinist is world renowned, and then there was also Dr. Cyan Proctor. She's the analog astronaut. And so they did this all live this morning. And then tomorrow on that event, we got the Ghost Brothers. So the guys off of out of Atlanta with the that go and search for the ghost and everything. And then there's a couple others, but that is, actually, so we've done several events now also, and they're multiple day, multiple hours and stuff. This is the first one that is not only live, but it's also socially distanced audience. They have 2 stages, different room. They're piping in, so everyone's socially distanced, but at the same time, it's still on stages and everything like that.
Oh, wow!
But yeah, it is a remarkable event, and our core of what we do is the individual shows. That's because there's the variety, there's all the differences, and that makes up the vast majority of our audience for sure.
Sure,
Right.
absolutely.
What the events do is they put a little spike in the whole thing. They throw. We're able to just grab a bunch of gasoline and throw it on the fire every now and then. It helps out everyone because it brings. I mean, we get audiences from everywhere on some of those events. I mean, this one event today, I wouldn't be surprised if we get 50,000 people that watched it live, in one day.
Wow.
So that's, you get a bunch of people that say, I have no idea who E360 TV is. They come into it, and what do? We watch them through our analytics. They just start cruising around, checking out stuff because they're at a new destination now. But that's if I'm going to do a plug, it's not all the people for the individual shows, but their events and such, because we've gotten that down. And we got coming up this weekend, we have a fashion show. So we have a Midwest fashion show. So that's
how come you didn't invite me to that fashion show?
Because you didn't shave your legs, Jim.
There you go. And I don't
didn't produce this content. I'm surprised they didn't reach out to you. But
I hear you. The thing.
Rolodex quite yet, but yeah.
The thing I love about E360 TV, also, I can picture someone sitting out there, like I say, whether you're watching us live or you watch us on replay, go to e360tv.com, you scroll down to positive vibrations, then to the right, you'll see the messages of inspiration and hope, and all the shows are there. But the thing that I like about it, someone could say, wow, I'd like to have a chance to be able to get a little exposure to a large audience. And events, oh my goodness gracious. I mean, obviously I'm not going to get invited because I can't sing, I can't dance, and I don't look too good in fashion. So, you might be able to fill my spot on an event out there, But the thing that I'm really serious about this is the growth that's coming to us.
Yeah.
Because we're not out. Because, as Aaron can verify, we have ideas and we've discussed things and all that, but we're not actively out there, ringing doorbells and sending emails. Things are coming to us. And that is when you're in the right path and the right energy, because things are coming to you, because you're coming from the heart. That's the key that will unlock those doors for you. Donna, we've seen that a lot, haven't we?
Oh, we have. We absolutely have. And, Jim and I have traveled in a lot of the same circles, and we've discussed our life before the circles we traveled in together. And there's a lot of parallels out there about, energy vampires, if you will. They not only suck your energy, you're wanting to do this event or get into this particular genre, and they not only suck your energy, but they suck your wallet dry. And so right. And so, it's true. And, Jim's been there, I've been there, but you know what? I still have, some great connections from it, but it wasn't the right place, the right time, and the energy wasn't flowing.
Right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. And I mean, the timing was just perfect for us to make the transition from the Zoom and Facebook Live to E360 TV, because we were coming to an area there where we had already done 300 speakers.
Right.
And we were going to take it to a new wave. And just so happened it came at the right time, so we didn't have to change horses in the middle of the street. And I'm not smart enough to figure that out, folks. I'm just going to be right up front with you. And Donna can verify that. And so can, Aaron. I'm just not, I'd like to say that I was real smart and figure that out. But I'm going to be honest.
Hey, I got to disagree with you on something, Jim.
What's that?
I think you would look spectacular in a mini skirt and a tube top.
Oh, well.
Oh, the visual
when I put,
just gave me, Aaron.
Yeah, but when I put the wig on, that's when the shoes come off the horse, brother.
Okay.
Do not.
I don't
I think, you guys that said this probably 100 times. We don't know exactly where this train is going, but we know the scenery is getting prettier and prettier on the way. I can tell you, the growth factor is, it gives my heart little palpitations every now and then, because I'll be straight. I think we're going to be outgrowing even some of our technologies that we have probably within a year. So, and that's a good thing. That's okay. That's quite all right. It's just that it's going, everything is in such positive direction and under the weirdest circumstances, under the oddest circumstances that all this happened. I was talking to my wife again, because of course that's all who I talk to. But I was saying that I think a lot of us I know there's aspects of the pandemic and the shutdown and all that stuff that I'll miss. There's pieces of it that I think people will look back and have missed. And I think that, and I think the real regrets from these times today is not taking advantage of the downtime that we really did have.
Yes.
That I heard from a lot of people is that they kind of reevaluated. Donna, you were just talking about you're in these circles. It was weird. It was, they're sucking the energy out of you and stuff. And then you have something that comes along that kind of just slaps you in the face a little bit and makes you pause and look around and go, okay, what's important? What do I want? And then reevaluate, readjust, and then open your eyes to, the little diamonds in the rough, and if you take a moment, then you can really see them and go, oh shoot, these have been here all along.
Yeah.
But you jump on them and you take advantage of it, and you take advantage of it. So anyways, I have no idea what I was talking about there, guys.
It sounded very interesting though.
Replay.
The virtual stage is here to stay. That's one thing that the pandemic did solidify, because just think, we've already made the adjustment. We've already made the pivot, as everybody likes to say. But, you can attend, events virtually, as far as training and things of this nature. And like for speakers, my goodness gracious, you can speak you're going to be speaking to smaller groups, but you can speak to multiple groups using the virtual stage like this. And guess what? There's no airline tickets. Right. There's no expensive hotels to stay in, because when you go to an event and you're going to speak on stage, and you got to fly there, you got to stay at a hotel, and the hotel is always the biggest issue, because you get up there and things don't work, or they don't have anything. Well, I thought we were going to have this. Well, they said we did, but we don't. So you're making all these adjustments and you're doing all this. You don't need that nonsense. And with the virtual stage, you're more in control of your environment. I'm not saying things are not going to happen; they will. But guess what? You can fix it. You can work around it. You can make adjustments. And, when you get ready to go, get another drink or something like that, the only thing you got to do is step over the dog or the cat.
Yeah.
I tell you, but the virtual stage is here to stay.
Absolutely.
So don't discount that, because it is a valuable tool. Go ahead, Donna, please.
Well, I just wanted to say that, and I know the three of us have discussed this before, that the days of in-person events, in-person networking meetings are almost just dead and buried, if you will.
They're dinosaurs.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And that the virtual stage is so much easier for everybody's schedule, and why we're still unsure in what's going to happen with, this pandemic. No one really wants to venture out that far.
Oh, yeah.
And so, E360 TV is an incredible platform for that.
Yep.
It sure is.
Even if people, I think there are going to be come back events and those kind of things. There are going to, some are they're going to come back. Because certain genres are probably, there's a benefit for being face to face, but there's always going to be the parallels with them.
Yeah,
you're always going to have the virtual also going, because what all of them figured out that did do something is that they could get so many more people so much quicker. And it's not only the expense, but what if someone's handicapped? What if someone just they got a sick mother, or whatever it may be, it's not convenient, or sick kid, or whatever, something like that. It still gives them the opportunity to be able to do and be a participant in these things. And I just think back to, my sister had MS. I mean, she, it was everything, traveling was
forget
ordeal. It was an ordeal. It was a thing. You know what I mean? It was a get pumped, get excited. Let's go. Let's do this. You know what I mean? There's a lot involved in there for something like that. Shouldn't have to strip away the opportunity to be able to still be a part of those things.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because, a lot of people, it's so convenient. And it's just also it's very secure and very safe.
Right.
Because a lot of people still, in the back of their minds, they still have that thing about, the COVID-19 and all that. I mean, remember years ago, on the news, all we heard was, West Nile virus. And if you live here in Texas with these mosquitoes in the summertime, I mean, I must be a sweet guy because they seem to like me. I don't know why. But a mosquito bites you on the arm, you slap it, and all of a sudden your mind would think West Nile virus because you've been brainwashed to thinking like that. And so people are, they can take control of their life. They can be very safe at home. They can be very focused on that, because if you're out there in the public, and if that's preying on your mind or in the back of your mind, it's going to affect you in your energy, because you got a negative thing there dragging you down. Whereas the virtual stage, being in your house or in your studio, wherever, you're in control. You really are.
You're safe. You're safe.
Yes, absolutely. And that way you can be the real you. And that's why I love doing these shows 5 days a week and get on the radio 1 day a week. And then, I sing tenor on Saturday night. Did you know that? Yeah. I've also been a backup singer too. Yeah, that tenor is 10 or 12 miles away, and they keep telling me, back up, back up, back up, back up. But I love to sing. It's pretty bad. You go outside, start singing, the birds start leaving and flying out of the trees and leaving. That's when it's bad.
Yeah, that's an indicator right there.
Yep, that's like that old saying, dance like no.
All the dogs in the neighborhood start.
That's just like you say, dance like nobody's watching you. And speaking of that, I got to tell you a story out of school. You know Angel Marie Monticelli? She's one of our members. Yeah. Fantastic lady, full of energy. And if I had time, I'd do a commercial with her right now, but I might do it in this moment here, because this energy, I'm enjoying the visit here. I don't want to interrupt it with a commercial. But anyway, we were out there in Colorado Springs. It was January 2019. We were at the Pathway for Vets. I was the MC of the thing. And that's because Don voluntold me I was going to be the MC. Voluntold, hey, you're the MC. Oh, okay, I can do that. And so anyway, we get Angel up there, and she's doing the Shine On things. And she's got that song and all the movements. Yep. And I'm trying to follow along, and I don't know the movements, obviously, and I don't even know the songs. I'm just, I'm about that half second behind what everybody else is doing. And then I made my mistake. I looked over at Bill Heinrich and another guy, and I thought, what are they doing? It looked like a cross between the Watusi and the Boogaloo. And I lost it. I started laughing. When you start laughing, you're half a second behind the normal beat with everybody. You might as well sit down and go home because game over. Oh my goodness. You can just picture Bill up there doing this shine on stuff, huh?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. And I probably looked worse than he did, because I was about half. But when I saw him moving over there, another guy, I'm thinking like, what are they doing? What are they jamming to? Oh my goodness! I tell you, Angel Marie is just a wonderful, wonderful lady. And goodness gracious, I'm going to play what she said about the 6-minute webinar. If we can just take just about 30 seconds, or no, it's going to be about 45 seconds. But here's Angel Marie Monticelli.
Oh.
Hi, I'm Angel Marie Monticelli with Angel Marie Shines. And I had the pleasure, the honor to go through training for the 6-minute webinar. Oh my gosh, this webinar and how it's structured and how they teach it. Thank you, Speakers Pathway Coalition. Thank you, Don McGrath and the whole team for the 6-minute webinar, because you made it so simple, easy. And the way you lined it out with the outline, I can reproduce it. And I'm already getting the engagement. I'm getting people that are coming back that are saying, oh, I love this webinar that's so short, so to the point, and I love your products and what I'm selling, but then what I'm also, the services that I provide, and I do any of this because I have the framework. So thank you so much to the whole team, because the 6-minute webinar totally rocks. Thank you.
See, I'm getting down to that music, but the reason I wanted to play that, ladies and gentlemen, was to just introduce you to Angel Marie Monticelli. If you got an online event or if you got a physical event there, she lives in the Phoenix area, and you need a good event coordinator that's got a lot of energy, Angel Marie Monticelli is your lady. She is just a bundle of energy. Shine on, and she will make your event look great. She's that good. That's why we had the Pathway for Vets event, because man, I tell you, she got everybody up and she got everybody dancing and all that stuff I was talking about earlier. And I just had to give her a plug too. I just had to.
That's awesome. Yeah. I should talk to that lady then. She's doing a bunch of shoots.
Yeah, she's got her own song. She's got everything, shine on. And I mean, we had a guy there. He had some serious problems, PSTD or PS, whatever, PTSD, whatever it is. I still got it too. Mm-hmm. But he broke down and cried the night before, because he told me and Bill Heinrich he felt real bad. He was a veteran. That he was on drugs, and he wasn't around his kids. He wasn't a good father. It was a real low point for him. And that entire event that he went to there, we got him introduced to Dr. Charles Weber, who is a specialist in that area there in Colorado Springs. And he was homeless, sleeping under a bridge in January. You can imagine how miserable that is in Colorado Springs.
Right.
And through the efforts of everything, he was able to get off of drugs and get a job, and he's no longer homeless. Yeah. But one of the things that Angel Marie Monticelli did, when I was laughing at, Bill and me and all of us trying to do the Shine On dance, he was up there and he was doing it, and he had a smile on his face. And so that is just pure energy from that beautiful lady. And that's like I tell people, if that's the only thing we accomplished when we were up there, we were overpaid big time. Big time. Yeah. I just had to share that. So I'll tell you. Yeah, she's right there in Phoenix, man. You ought to hook up with her. She's a powerhouse.
That's awesome. She's wonderful.
Yeah. She's a beautiful person. She really is. Well, I tell you, we're closing in about 55 minutes. Normally I go a little longer, and I probably will, just depending on what Donna wants to say. I'm sure Donna's got a couple of things she wants to say. So go right ahead, Donna.
The one thing I would like is just give a little more depth, if you would, about the events, Aaron.
Oh, yeah.
So for the events, it's kind of that category of what that means is multiple hours, and a lot of times multiple days, and a lot of them we'll try to do as much simulated live as we can, because we don't have to worry about the glitches like this event this morning. Big glitch right from the beginning. Not on our end because we were receiving the stream, but on the production end, they were having issues and such. So we try to do the simulated live as much as possible. But what it is really just taking whatever the focus is. So we've done diversity summits. We've done quite a few space like summits and I would call them seminars, if you will. Different things like that. But basically what we're taking is something that was in a physical form and person to person at one point. Now taking it where it's virtual instead. And those we have to get more involved in because we have to do a lot more hand holding in those things. They're literally, some people are like, this is what I do in person, and that's all I know how to do. And now I just need to take this that was on the ground, and I need to fly through the digital world, So they get a lot more involved to putting it all together, and then we also run their marketing also to make sure that we're getting eyeballs and stuff on those things, and they pay us for that. So it is what we've done. We've done, like I said, there's a diversity summit that was all about transportation and technology. That one was for Black History Month and such, and so that was really interesting. And then we have also had LGBTQ seminars. We've done, like I mentioned, the space ones, which was and they go from different levels. They'll go to the, hey man, that's cool, you know what I mean, rockets and all that stuff, to the really like in the depths of things where if you're not an engineer or something like that, you're like, like what are they talking about? Like you get lost. way over my head. Yeah. Again, it's just what I do like about the events is kind of cool, and I know I've got to go here, but it really just opens up to, sometimes it's like that old saying that you figure out that when your true wisdom is when you figure out that you know nothing, right? And so some of those events and stuff, they really expose you to some of these different things that you're like, oh, I've never even thought about that, or just an aspect of stuff. And so it is kind of unopened some different categories and such like that. So, and it's led to, it's been great. We brought on, because of our space stuff, we brought in Janet's Planets. Janet's Planets was on PBS for years. Now it's on E360 TV. So, so it just continues to open up things, and it just continues to evolve it, Oh, yeah. Entertaining Evolve at E360TV.com.
There you go. Yeah. And I got to put that back up there again. I got to put your website up there while he's doing that great advertisement. But, we're looking forward to the project we're working on to put on an event in the future with the folks there in North Carolina. That's going to be a fun event. And we'll be out there next year in the spring. Donna and I we've already talked about that, and we're going to have Edgy, her feller, to get in the back of the truck. He's going to be Walt Disney for us. Ladies and gentlemen, our time is gone, but we've really enjoyed having Aaron with us today. He's a great friend of ours, and this is what E360 TV is all about. It's about friends sharing great information, having fun, and helping those in their hour of need. So please get in touch with us here at inspiration at e360tv.com. We'd be glad to have you as a guest. And get in touch with Aaron there at E360 TV. It's just Aaron at E360 TV. If you'd like any information about being a guest or being a host or being an event coordinator or just please take my place in that mini skirt and tube top. That's not me. We're out of time, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. And remember, love yourself first, then you can love others. And that's what life is all about. On behalf of Donna and Aaron, I'm Jim Grant. Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.